Good morning. Welcome to One Church. Welcome to Partnership Sunday. I'm Leanne. I'm one of the ministers here for those who don't know me. If you are a visitor this morning, you're especially welcome. Welcome to those of us who are joining the service online. It's great to be with you all. We've got a jam-packed morning for you. For those who've been around, we've been looking at our values for the last couple of weeks, building up to this moment every autumn where we stop and reflect and take time to renew our partnership in the church, which is our way of doing membership. And it's really a moment for us to think about, what do we want to do together over the next year? Who do we want to be as a community? And giving everyone that opportunity to recommit, rather than just getting you to sign a form that gets locked away somewhere and forgotten about. We have this rhythm of intentionally recommitting every year, and you'll hear a lot more about that throughout the rest of the service. What we are going to do together this morning, for those who like to have a little idea, we've got our welcome. We will say some liturgy, some prayer together and sing. Then we'll have a little time of discussion, some notices, and an activity all together. So young people, if you're secondary school age, are staying in for the whole service. Primary school age children will go out for a short time, but shorter than normal. And there are a bunch of colouring books and toys and things over in this corner if anyone needs a little bit of distraction before the kids go out. Dave's going to come and speak to us, and then we'll have a moment of renewing partnership together and finish the service with some singing. Before I dive into the liturgy, I want to take a moment to acknowledge these amazing banners which everyone has contributed to. So we gave out the fabric squares, I think 3 weeks ago, and something like 60 people have returned a square. So we've got that in today. All is not lost. If you are working on a square and you're annoyed that you haven't finished it, we haven't completely done the seams and everything. The only restriction is that we need 6 people at a time to return their squares so they stay even. I've got a beautiful square from Eli this morning, so I need at least 5 other people who have got a square at home to bring those in the next couple of weeks. But I think, when you have an idea and then it goes out into the world, I'm really pleased with how that's come together. So thanks everyone who's contributed to that. Thank you to Chloe and Bex for helping me with the sewing. And you've all got something to take away from the service today, these beautiful prints on your chairs, which capture as many of the squares as we could fit in. And you've got this little snippet of this quote from Arundhati Roy. The prompt for these squares was, what's the world that we want to see? And so I'm going to read you that whole quote before we move into the rest of our service, just because I think it speaks a lot to many themes that we've picked up on over the last year and some of the thinking that we might be doing about how we respond to the world around us in this particular moment that we find ourselves in. She says, our strategy should not be only to confront empire, but to lay siege to it, to deprive it of oxygen, to shame it, to mock it. With our art, our music, our literature, our stubbornness, our joy, our brilliance, our sheer relentlessness, and our ability to tell our own stories. Stories that are different from the ones we're being brainwashed to believe. The corporate revolution will collapse if we refuse to buy into what they are selling, their ideas, their version of history, their wars, their weapons, their notion of inevitability. Remember this, we be many and they be few. They need us more than we need them. Another world is not only possible, she is on her way. On a quiet day, I can hear her breathing. And I was very happy when I was preparing for the service this week to discover that 2024, Leanne, wrote a values liturgy, so I didn't have to do it. So why don't we stand as we get ready to sing, as we come into the room, land together. I'm going to read the words in black, and I invite you to join me in the words which are in bold and in blue. We come with questions and doubts, longings and ideas to shape ourselves around your life-giving, world-shifting story. We come to worship you and know you more, God. Guide us to be more intimate with you. We come with pain and sorrow, joy and hope. The world is not always as you would have it, not always as it should be. We yearn for more justice and peace, for your kingdom to come. Strengthen us to be involved in the world as a force for good. We come with egos and inhibitions, compassion and desire. We crave connection, to be known and seen, to be a vibrant and deep-rooted community. Give us the courage to be more interdependent with each other. We come with hurts and prejudices, open hearts and commitment to do better. We seek a church truly representative of all your beautiful children. We seek a richly diverse church where all can find welcome and belonging. Enable us to do more to include everyone. We come with failings and weaknesses, determination and dedication. May we be a people who can walk the talk. Give us the truth and wholeness we need for the journey, Lord. Embolden us to grow in integrity in all we do. May we become more and more each day who you have called us to be as individuals and as a church. Help us to partner with each other. May we play our part in reflecting your love and grace and mercy into the world. Help us to partner with you, Creator, Redeemer, and Sustainer. Amen. And we will now sing together.
Holy God of our faith, you are welcome in this place. You are welcome in this place. Holy God of our faith, you are welcome in this place. You are welcome in this place. So come fill our hearts up. Oh, come fill our hearts up with your presence. Come fill our hearts up. Oh, come fill our hearts up with your presence. Sweet Lord, sustain us. Sweet Lord, sustain us. Holy and holy God of our faith, you are welcome in this place. You are welcome in this place. And holy God of our faith, you are welcome in this place. You are welcome in this place. Come fill our hearts up. Oh, come fill our hearts up with your presence. Come fill our hearts up. Oh, come fill our hearts up with your presence. Sweet Lord, sustain us. Sweet Lord, sustain us. Sing, you carry me. You carry me. You carry me on the wings of love. You carry me. You carry me on the wings of love. You carry me. You carry me on the wings of love. You carry me. You carry me on the wings of love. You carry me. You carry me on the wings of love. You carry me. You carry me on the wings of love. You carry me. You carry me on the wings of love. You carry me. You carry me. Come fill our hearts. Come fill our hearts. Oh, come fill our hearts with your presence. Come fill our hearts up. Oh, come fill our hearts up with your presence. Sweet Lord, sustain us. Sweet Lord, sustain us. So dance then wherever you may be. I am the Lord of the dance, said he, and I'll lead you all wherever you may be, and I'll lead you all in the dance, said he. I danced in the morning when the world was begun, and I danced in the moon and the stars and the sun, and I came down from heaven and I danced on the earth. Of Bethlehem I have my birth. So dance then wherever you may be. I am the Lord of the dance, said dance for the scribe and the Pharisee, but they would not dance and they would not follow me. I danced for the fishermen, for James and John. They came to me and the dance went on. So dance then, wherever you may be. I am the Lord of the dance, said he, and I'll lead you all wherever you may be, and I'll lead you all in the dance, said he. Danced on the Sabbath when they called her lame. The holy people said it was a shame. They whipped and they stripped and they hung me high. They left me there on a cross to die. So dance then, wherever you may be. I am the Lord of the dance, said he, and I'll lead you all wherever you may be, and I'll lead you all in the dance, said he. Friday when the sky turned black. It's hard to dance with the devil on your back. They buried my body and they thought I'd gone, but I am the dance and I still go on. So dance then, wherever you may be. I'm the Lord of the dance, said he, and I'll lead you all wherever you may be, and I'll lead you all in the dance, said he. Up high. I am the life that will never, never die. I'll live in you if you live in me. I am the Lord of the dance, said he. So dance then, wherever you may be. I am the Lord of the dance, said he. And I'll lead you all wherever you may be, and I'll lead you all. And dance then, said he. So dance then, wherever you may be. Said he, I'll lead you all wherever you may be, and I'll lead you all in the dance, said he. Awesome. We did not practice how to end that.
Thank you. For those who can't see, Sam was playing guitar and the drum. I think we should just keep adding instruments each week until you're like one of those one-man bands. Very good. So, over the last couple of weeks, we have looked at 4 of our 5 values, and I'm going to do that really cheesy, annoying thing and see if people can shout them out. I'm sure between us, we must be able to remember the 4. Be brave. Inclusion. Thank you. No, we haven't done integrity yet. You've given away the punchline there. Intimacy with God. Yep. Interdependence. One more. Involvement in the world. Thank you. So we've covered those 4, and today we're going to have a bit of a think about integrity in this part of the service. And when I was thinking about it, it struck me that integrity, I guess, underpins all of those other values, and integrity, in a way, is living out your values, and that's not always getting it right, but it's acknowledging when you're not living up to the values that you want to see, whether that's your personal values, whether that's the values of your workplace or a community like One Church. Often integrity is missing or lacking when there's a disconnect in those things. So my question for our little discussion time is, who is someone you know who models integrity well? Who's someone who you think is really doing a good job of trying to live out their values and owning up to it when they're not, and being honest and truthful, not having that disconnect between what they say and what they do? So it could be anyone in your life. And if those people come to mind quickly, you might want to get a bit deeper into what does that look like? When you see it in action, what does it look like? So the invitation is to have a little discussion with some of the people around you. As ever, if you want to keep yourself to yourself this morning, that is absolutely fine. But the invitation is to have a chat with a few people around you about somebody who models integrity well in your life. Okay, I'm going to bring everyone back together. If we could come back together, because I'd like to hear just a few snippets whilst we are reflecting on integrity. I think integrity is one of those things, it might be a bit hard to describe, but you know it when you see it, and you know it when it's not there as well. So I think it would be helpful. Obviously, feel free to share those people that sprung to mind. But if anyone's got any of those qualities that they got into in their discussion about what integrity in action looks like, it would be great just to hear a few of those to keep us thinking about integrity. Has anyone got anything that they want to share?
I basically think the Nobel Peace Prize committee showed incredible integrity this week. Not only because he wasn't nominated because it was too late, but basically setting a marker for next year.
Anyone else? There must be some more thoughts. Great.
So we were talking about like when you say that you're going to do something and it matches up with the actions. So if you're saying that you really care about something, but then not ever following through on doing anything about it, then there's a little bit of a lack of integrity. But then if you say that you're really committed to helping somebody and then you follow through with your actions, that shows integrity.
Yeah, there's definitely something about words and actions matching up, isn't there? Anyone else? Something to chip in? How are we going to do this? I'm going to run all the way around. I was expecting that this morning.
I would say my dad, this man. He's got a lot of integrity. He's a very peacefully wise man and stays true to his word a lot and is fiercely loyal and very, very, like, quiet. No, not quiet, like, honest and just, like, has a very calm energy that will, like, speak the truth. You can trust him.
Beautiful, thank you. Anyone got a burning thing that they are going to regret not chipping into the conversation? No, okay, well, thank you. So I'm going to run through a few notices, things that are going on in the life of the church. We've got quite busy service this morning, so I'm just going to pick up on the things that are happening in the next week, because there's loads of those even. And if you are new or you're relatively new and you're not getting our weekly emails, come and grab me after. We can get a form filled out for you. And all the links to everything that I'm talking about will be in there. But first, coming up, we've got a partner event down in our other building in Gloucester Place, which we are hosting in that space in partnership with Sussex Surplus. So you can have a 2-course meal. The kind of suggested donation is out £8 for that. It's all going to be done from surplus food. I think it'll be a really lovely time. And when they posted it on Instagram, they said, what better way to respond to divisive times than eating together, which I think is really true. So do check that out. I think there's going to be one a month for the next couple of months. So if you can't make it this Wednesday, do look out for that. We've got a concert here in the evening next Saturday. That's getting pretty close to being sold out. So if you want to join that, we're raising money for the Amos Trust, their work in West Bank and Gaza. So check that out. And could probably do with a couple more volunteers. So come and speak to me if you're up for helping make that event run smoothly. And then next Sunday, we've got 2 things happening after our service. So once a month, we host a community meal for people who are vulnerably housed or isolated. That meal rotates around different churches, and we do the 3rd Sunday of the month. So that's happening next week. We always need more people to help serve, chat to the guests, and make that a great time for everyone. So you can email or you can chat to Stefan, who's on sound today, if you're up for getting involved in that. And also next Sunday, 3 till 5, there's an opportunity for our children to go to Rock Farm, which is our market garden about half an hour away. Have some great outdoor time, carve some pumpkins, have hot chocolate. I think that's going to be really fun. So if you're a family with children, email Maddie and let her know if you're going to take part in that. And the one longer term thing that I do just want to plug quickly is the One Church Gathering, which is a half-day event that we've got coming up on the 8th. I really feel that this is going to be like a continuation of the things that we have been talking about whilst we've been talking about our values and the things that we're thinking about today. There's going to be an opportunity for people to bring an activity, to share something that they're passionate about or share a skill that they have as part of a kind of open afternoon of loads of different activities. So have a look Look, our weekly email, and get signed up to that. And if you're like, I really like this thing, I think other people would be interested, I don't really know how to turn it into an activity or whatever, don't worry, just add it to the form when you sign up, and we can help you to shape that. And it should be a really fun day. We'll eat together in the evening. David's going to host an open mic, which will be really fun. So start practicing your tunes and your poems, and that should be a really great day. So that is my final notice, I believe. So I'm going to hand it over to Dave, who is going to do an activity for everybody.
Oh, no. That sounds so lame already, but it's going to be better than that. Morning, everybody. My name's Dave. I'm one of the ministers here. It's lovely to see you here with us. We wanted to just do something whilst we were all in the room, all aged together. And then, as already been explained, those in junior school are going to go out to an activity and then come back, and we'll finish by doing something together. So I said to Leanne, leave it with me. I'll think of something creative and brilliant, but I couldn't. So this could be the most ill-conceived thing that's ever been thought of. You know when you have an idea in your head and then you go, I've got no idea whether this is going to work in practice. This is it. So what I want you to do is, in a moment, listen to the instructions first, let me patronise you, is I want you to get into some little teams of people. This is a really light, easy thing to do. Don't get stressed by it, because we're going to play bingo together, okay? I don't know if that's been done in this church before, in its 150 years history, but we're going to play bingo on a Sunday morning, and it will all become clear why. And let me give you a little bit of incentive, because some people might need to engage. There's cakes and biscuits and stuff over there. If you win today's competition, during the service, you can go and help yourself to one thing, just grazing during the service. You're going to do that in your team. So you need sort of 7 or 8 or 9 people around you. And so do that. Get yourself into some little groups. You might need to move your chairs a bit. Be friendly. And then send me one person and I'll give them something. Just what I said. Can you open that for me? Just right. So I want one of those and a pen. One of those and a pen. One of those and a pen. One of those and a pen.
Thanks, mate. Do I need a pen as well? Do I need a particular pen, or can I keep the pen?
We haven't got a dabber. Sam, I need you for something slightly different, but we'll see in a minute.
Can I take one to my
Yeah, do that. And a pen. Okay, so if you've all in your group got a piece of paper and a pen, and let me explain this. So, listen carefully. You're going to fill in your bingo squares in just a moment with something that I'm going to give you. And then, who's never played bingo and has no concept of what it is? You're so spiritual. You win by getting a line. So you're going to put some things in these boxes, and then it'll become clear about what happens. But hopefully, if you complete a line up or down or diagonal, you stand up and you shout out bingo or house. I think yours. House is a different thing. House is everything. So you shout out bingo. And if you're the first to stand up and shout bingo, you get cake galore, okay? So this is what we're going to do. Are you listening? Are you listening? Are you listening? So basically, I was just thinking about partnership, and I was thinking about the vast sort of the stuff we do as a church. We always, from when we started and joined together and we became one church, somebody said to me early on, they had this little image for me, and they said, we'll always be a church that punches above our weight. And we were just a very small number of people back then. And I think it's always kind of been true that no matter the kind of size of people in the room here on a Sunday, the kind of influence and involvement in the city has always been much more kind of significant. And so to make all of those things happen always relies on volunteers. There's nothing that we do without the need of volunteers. So many of you in this room get involved in loads of different ways. But what I want you to think about this morning is just this little bit, this teeny bit of thing that we do on any sort of given 7 days. There is a moment where we come into the room and we have an hour and a half together. So what I want you to just do is when I say go, you're going to think about all the jobs that need to happen just to make Sunday mornings happen. Okay? And then you're going to write them in your different boxes. And what I'm going to ask Mark and Sam and Leanne, where's Leanne? Leanne is here. I want you three to come and sit on the stage because you know what jobs need to be done. And in the 2 minutes you get, these guys are going to write their list of actual jobs that they know need to be done. And then we'll compare their list to your bingo card. Is this going to work? I think it might. It might not. So any job that you think needs doing to make our Sundays happen, write in the different boxes. Do you need one of those? Go for it. So your 2 minutes starts now. Okay, 50 seconds left. People shouting house out now have not understood the game, but carry on, keep going, keep going. Fifteen seconds. Two seconds. Okay, stop. No cheating, nothing else can be written. So, I always didn't make myself clear. You need to get a line, okay, to win. So, are you ready? So you mark off, put an X in the box, or if you've got your bingo stamper in your bag, get it out now. So, Sam, come and talk us through. So, one at a time, see how you get on. Tell us the things, the jobs that need doing, just to make Sunday happen.
Are you ready? Okay, plan the rotas. Did no one get rotas? There are loads of rotas. Oh, you want granular? No. Oh, yeah. Set up the chairs. Set up the sound stuff. I'll take band setup or something like that. Set up the computer to do the streaming and the words. What? They were cheating. Should we go for a full house? Full house. It's too easy, isn't it, bingo? Okay, the band have to practice sometimes. Someone has to choose the songs that we sing. Coffee, set up coffee. Grind the coffee, blah, blah, blah. We need a welcome team. We need to get the notice board out into the foyer, which we forgot to do this morning, because none of you remember. Set up the kids' room. Plan a kids' session. I mean, deliver a kids' session, but I feel like we're going too... Is this too granular?
No, it's all right.
It's good. Okay, if we're having communion, someone needs to get the communion stuff. For the last 17 years, that's been Anne Withers. Thank you, Anne Withers. Someone needs to plan a sermon of some kind. We need to work out what notices we need to give. You don't care about that. Someone needs to plan leading the service. So that's the kind of what liturgies we're doing, or the structure of the service and all that stuff. Someone needs to do reminders to people who are on things. So like email reminders to people on Teams. Have you got a full house? Incredible. Great. I mean, the only thing left on my sheet was planning and delivering youth work. But what else have you guys got? Open the building. Close the building. What else have we got? Cleaning up, yeah. You guys are a messy bunch. Put the heating on. The heating was on this morning. Isn't it lovely in here? Putting out the biscuits, very good. What other things? Eleanor, what's yours? You've done it? Oh, amazing. That must mean our team's the winner. Anyone else got something that's not we haven't said yet? Risk assessment. We totally have done.
Amazing. And there will be others. Switch on the festoon lights. That's my job. I do that every Sunday. Well done. Give yourself a round of applause. And because we should stick with the original goal, even though we got there very quickly, Claire's group, you can go and get yourself cake. It's kind of unfair that your dad's here, Claire, as one of the founders of this building, with all his knowledge. But help yourself to cake during it, and maybe even the group who got the full house first over here. You can also go and help yourself to cake. Thanks for doing that. The reason I wanted to do that, and you fell into my trap beautifully, is because we're going to talk about much bigger things today, and the future of our church and the future direction of it. But we shouldn't forget that this is one of the things that we do. And we need help, I think, in probably every one of those jobs that we just said to you, to make even just this happen. There's a danger, I think, in churches where when people say, we really want you to get involved, that they only mean Sunday mornings and the kids' rota and the sound and stuff. But we mean so much more, but we don't mean any less than that also. That if you're part of this church community, are there ways that you could help? We struggle with the sound and the visual stuff. It's not really complicated. People can train you to do that. If you think maybe you could help with that, that would be so helpful. Cademan, who, whenever he's back from university, does like 10-week shift and then selfishly goes back to university. He's been there for 3 years already, for goodness sake, wasting his life. Come and do the sound for us. So when he's here, we over-rely on him, and that's really unfair, and we can help you, train you to do that. Even if it's just once every 6 weeks, once every 8 weeks, it would be massively helpful. All of those things, welcoming. Our kids' work is growing, and Maddie could really do with more volunteers and help with that. Anton, and there are awesome young people, and when they go out, he could do with some support for when they go out in the services. So anything that you sort of think, actually, this is my church, and if every now and again I could get involved in something to help deliver it, would be so helpful. Is that okay? So please think about whether or not you could do that. Right, kids, you're about to go out, but we used to do this, and then we stopped it because it was sort of chaos, but it kind of, I think we're going to go for it today. Have we got 2 songs, Sam? 1.5. Well, after the first song, the kids are going to go out. Okay, so we'll start by singing together. Nice thing to do. And then maybe Sam will give you a nod, or you'll just get bored and you're going to go out. So that's, if you're in junior school, you're going to go into the hall. If you, where's Leanne? If you are younger than that, if you're preschool and you'd like to do some colouring and stuff, I think the back corner over there, there's some stuff if you'd like to do that. If you've got like a babe in arms and you want to get out of the room, there's a little room just off here that you can go and sit in, and you should still be able to hear what's going on. I think that's all of my notices today. But let's stand and let's sing together.
Wolf, we're going to switch the order a little bit and do We'll All Be Free. Is that okay? Sorry. Well, there's a world at war, caught in suffering, silent casualties. Oh God, grant us peace in these sleepless nights. I can hardly breathe despite brutality. I know there will be free. I know there will be free. So let the light in, keep it shining, and let it break into the darkness. All the love dares us to see, we'll all be free. In these desperate times, love will hold us here. Love will join our hands, teach us to have no fear. So we lay our hate down to wash their feet. When we see our brother, oh, we'll all be free. Yes, we'll all be free. So let the light in, keep it shining, let it break into the darkness. All the love dares us to see, we'll all be free. So let the light in, keep it shining, let it break into the darkness. All the love dares us to see, we'll all be free. And we'll be free, free, we'll all be free. Yes, we'll be free, free, we'll all be free. Yes, we'll be free, free, we'll all be free. Yes, we'll be free, free, we'll all. And we are free, and we are free, free, we'll all be free. We'll be free, free, we'll all be. We are free, we are free, free, we'll all be free. We are free, free, we'll all be free. So let the light in, keep it shining, let it break into the darkness. All the love dares us to see, we'll all be free. Tell your sister, tell your sister, tell your brother, tell your father, tell your mother, tell yourselves, tell everybody, we'll all be free. Tell the lovers, tell the lovers, tell the haters, tell the prisoners, tell the jailers, tell the world, tell everybody, we'll all be free. So let the light in, keep it shining, let it break into the darkness. All the love dares us to see, we'll all be free. Let the light in, keep it shining, let it break into the darkness. All the love dares us to see, we'll all be free. Yes, we'll all be free. Yes, we'll all be free. All right, the kids are going to go out. We're going to sing again. We're going to use this next song as a little bit of a kind of prayer. I mean, every song is kind of prayer, but it's a kind of lovely longing song about where the kingdom of God and for whom the kingdom of God kind of needs to become more of a full reality. And so what we're going to do at the end of it, something that I've kind of done a few times here, and I just love doing it. I love the kind of thickness of it. Is what I want you to do is think of a word that if you were to pray any word over the kind of world, pray any word for the world, what would it be? What word would it be? And it might be linked to what we've got on these banners. It might be something else, but it might be peace, it might be love, light, hope. It might be something that sounds way less kind of traditional Christian than that. And in a bit at the end of this song, what we're going to do is kind of have a time where we kind of sing our words together. So everyone's going to be singing their own prayer and just breathe out that word. And then when you come to need to take a breath, breathe in, take a breath, and then sing it again. And you could sing it kind of at the same pitch that I sing mine, or you could sing it wherever you like, harmony or whatever, but like let's have a kind of wall of thickness and these kind of words as a prayer. And it might be that you settle on a word while we're singing. So first we're going to sing a song called The Kingdom Is Yours. Blessed are the ones who do not bury all the broken pieces of their heart. Blessed are the tears of all the weary, pouring like a sky of falling stars. And blessed are the wounded ones in mourning, brave enough to show the Lord their scars. Blessed are the hurts that are not hidden, open to the healing touch of God. The kingdom is yours. The kingdom is yours. Hold on a little more. This is not the end. Hope is in the Lord. Keep your eyes on
Serving
Okay. I'm just going to talk for a little bit, and then the kids are going to come back and join us. And this doesn't happen to me very often, but occasionally I kind of get a kind of talk, or what I'm going to say, like that I just know is the right thing to say. And so a few months ago, I felt like, oh, I know I'm going to talk about on Partnership Sunday this year, which is really unusual for me because it normally comes about 7:30 on a Sunday morning. And this was months in advance. And so I'm hesitant to say God's given me today's talk because that's a bit much. And over the years, people have come to me and said, you know, I've got a poem or a song that God's given me. And then you hear it and you think, I understand why he gave it away. And so I'm not telling you that this is God's told me. I just had a spark of an idea that may be God. And I kind of knew what it was that I wanted to say. And it's really kind of simple. But it was, I wanted to attach it to today's value that we're talking about. We're talking about integrity. I don't know what you think of when you think of integrity, but I have this kind of horizontal thought about integrity. Integrity is kind of alignment. Some people said it in the stuff they've fed back. You know, the stuff you say and the stuff that you do, the alignment between being fully in God and known by God and knowing yourself and fully knowing yourself and living out who you are. Do you agree with me? All of that stuff speaks of integrity, doesn't it? And I want to sort of completely reiterate that actually a life of integrity begins with this kind of horizontal thing where God, you, the earth, everything in it, the people around you are in alignment. That's what an integrous kind of person looks like. And we want to be a community that has integrity in it. And so that's definitely true. But there is also another axis. There's the vertical axis that actually about the direction of travel, about the things that you do and the places that you go. If you like, we're talking about maybe a connection and direction. What does it look like to have integrity in your connections, which lead to the integrity of your direction, of knowing who you are and knowing how you want to travel, but also within that having some idea of where it is therefore you should go. Does that make sense? And so today I just want to talk a little bit about what does the value of integrity look like? What do all of our values look like when they're actually lived out? Where would we end up? Where are the likely places that we should go? What are the things that you should be doing with your life? It's a very sort of presumptuous thing, particularly in our more kind of individualistic society, that somebody would have the gall to stand up here and say to you, where are you going in your life? What are you doing with your life? What's important to you? But actually being part of church is kind of an admittance that actually I don't know. I can't do this on my own. I need to be part of community. I need to be part of other people. I need to know my Creator to understand what I was created for. I think the question that this generation seems to desire more than ever, which is I want to be truly me. How do you know the answer to who you truly are? What is the difference between selfishness and actually the ability of just living out who you really are? And I think that when we bring God into that, when we bring this external force or internal force, depending on where you view where God is in your life at the moment, asking to say, who am I? Reveal myself to me so that I can live out that way. That seems to be the kind of two axes of integrity. And at One Church, we're always saying, what are our values? How are we doing this kind of journey? And we're always beating ourselves up in terms of we're not doing everything we should be, and we're not being everything we should be, but these are aspirations. But we need to travel. We need to go in the right direction. We've just sung a song that says, the kingdom is yours. This church, we can say all kinds of reasons why we think it exists or why you're here today, and we all have kind of mixed motives. But the church as an institution, a horrible word, but as a body, as a movement, is here to bring about God's kingdom, a peaceable kingdom of kindness, of justice, where the low are raised up, where the high are brought low. These values that come all the way through Scripture. This church exists to bring more of God's kingdom into the world. Yes, part of it is so that you being here feel more seen and known and loved and connected to one another, feel more aware of God's presence, think about some of these stories from Scripture, think about how it works in your life. But essentially, as we disperse from this place, the church fundamentally exists, and it really is, and I've said this before recently, but it really is the only reason that I personally stay involved with the church, because I fundamentally believe that small groups of people like ours are the only way that the world has ever become better. all social change comes back to small groups of people who wanted to make a difference. And I fundamentally believe in you. I believe in us. I look around this room and look at the talent and the passion and the integrity in people here. And I'm excited again. In my despairing moments about the future of this church, I'm encouraged when I then think about actually, this is the church here. Good people, I know, wanting to change the world and do good in the world. But how do we know what it is that we should do? And how do we act with integrity as we move forward? There's a phrase that N.T. Wright, a theologian, says that we need to act out faithful improvisation. None of us really know what the future holds. It's no good, really, us sitting in a boardroom somewhere and getting the 12 wisest people in one church together to say, come on, we'll find the answer and then we'll tell the rest of the church. It's not really how it works. We are doing this stuff of improvising all the time because we just don't know. The problem with that image is by the time you've come down from the boardroom to tell the church what it is we're going to do, the world has changed again. You've got to constantly be on your toes. You feel that more than ever potentially change. Things we didn't imagine would be happening in the world are happening as we sit here. And how do we respond? We've constantly got to improvise. In the early days of One Church, when we were joining together, there was one guy who was really not for us joining together and becoming One Church. And he used to give me quite a hard time. And I spent a lot of time with him, and I loved him as best I could. But I remember one time where he said to me, young man, it seems to me like you're making this up as you go along. And it was a good point, well observed. and I remember wanting to come out and fight and actually saying, yeah, you are right. But we are making it up as we go along. And the more that we are honest about that, the more freeing that is. There's too much kind of looking to the sides to go, what are other places doing? What are other churches doing? What does it look like to be a good church? I don't give a monkey's. I'm much more interested in what it looks like to be a good society, a good, fair community, a community of justice and peace and kindness that we know that the kingdom looks like. And our job is to join in that, not to worry too much about whether we're being a good church or not. And I know that sounds sort of quite simple, but it's complicated because there's all kinds of pressures. Someone called Walter Brueggemann, a theologian who died recently, his version of faithful improvisation was famously prophetic imagination, he called it. We need this prophetic imagination. I was thinking about it as I walked here today. Sounds sort of lovely. And the way Brueggemann writes about it is actually very clear, but people just use a sexy headline. But to be a prophet throughout any time in history is to be a persecuted person. To be somebody who puts out people's noses, is that the right phrase? Who anyway, falls out with people and people think badly of as a person. Because the status quo is being critiqued. The way that culture is generally spoken out against, both inside religious institutions like ours and outside. We are not doing the things of God. We've become too comfortable. We are not following the ways of the kingdom. And the prophet becomes the unpopular one. So to have a prophetic imagination is to actually believe in some stuff that a lot of other people will disagree with us on. But we're called to have this prophetic imagination. We've got to do this work. It's not just a nice thing to do, and it's not just like it's a job the church has to do. It is the very thing that will save you. You know, I've probably been as close as I've ever felt to like just, and some of you will know what I mean by this. We went away for a couple of weeks on holiday, and I knew that whilst we're on holiday, there was going to be a second royal visit, or whatever the right phrase, when Trump came. What was it called? State visit. There was going to be Charlie Kirk's funeral. There was going to be various things going on in the world. And I just said to Becky, I'm off social media. And then I realized, actually, I just want to be off media. I want to just not consume the TV. And we walked each day. And I'm not sure you can always live that way. But I have to tell you, my mental health was much better. The lack of anxiety, the occasional moments where we're on some cliff top with the dog and having this lovely moment, and me going, somewhere in the world, there's news right now that would really piss me off and ruin this view. But I don't know about it, and isn't that good? And maybe it is the way to live. I'm really intrigued. I've always been the person that said, no, we need to be clued up. We need to know what's going on. How can you fight the fight without knowing what the opposition is? All of that sort of talk. I'm less convinced. It's killing us. It's just killing us. So what do we do? And the thing we cannot do, the thing that I felt I've come closest to, is to just despair and giving up. I'm going to say something which might be really controversial, I might regret saying. But as a church, in the early years of One Church, we did lots of different new activities where we engaged. We engaged in holiday hunger and started Chomp. We engaged in massive youth unemployment at the time in Brighton, and we started something called Interwork, which has morphed into what's called Pro Baristas now, and thousands of people have gone through that. We Rock Farm and Ben and these other guys started and ran that because we knew that some people just need to get out of the city and get their hands into the earth, and their mental health and everything else will be improved by those kind of processes. We've done all that, but it feels like, and this may be my fault, that maybe we've just stopped taking some risks and we've lacked a bit of courage. And you might disagree with me, but as one of the leaders here, I feel quite a heaviness in my heart about actually now more than ever, we need to be taking risks and doing some new things together. We need to be asking, what can we as a small group of people begin to do to make a difference in the world? And I've mentioned this a couple of times over the last couple of weeks, and I hope you started to chew over it. What are the new things that we could do? They don't have to be massive. They don't have to turn into Chomps or Pro Baristas, but there may be just something small that you and another person could do to bring about a bit more of God's kingdom, where there is a bit more justice, there's a bit more kindness, where people trapped in cycles of poverty, where marginalized people are seen, where we're doing good in the world. This is really what we're all about. And in our little postcard things, this line of another world is not only possible, she is on her way, and on a quiet day, I can hear her breathing is the rest of that sentence. I just love that. Because if you let despair overwhelm you, then the system has won. They've won. The people that want to control you, the systems that want you to just be consumers and buy, they win. When you go, I can't do this anymore. These problems are too big and I can't do anything to change them. That is the moment that not only they will never change, but also something in you dies. You're no longer a human being made to create, made to bring about change. The devil's work is done when we go, I can't do this anymore. And part of being part of a church is the constant provocation to say, no, we must go again. You must believe, because we are ultimately about a gospel of hope. And when you give up hope, nothing ever will change. But when we hold out hope and encourage each other to believe in another world, I promise you, we can make some massive difference. And the bit that I feel slightly saddened about is that a lot of the examples I use, we began 10, 12, 13 years ago. And I want another wave of things that we point to and go, do you remember 25 at that partnership thing? That birthed a whole other bunch of things that we can point to that are bringing about kindness and justice, that are seeing people who feel unseen. And this is the bit that I felt so sort of given as a gift, I suppose, to share with you today, is that I think there are two ways that you know that God's Spirit is working in you, and you know, because the danger is it's just words. And I just want to give you a kind of thought about, well, how do you know what to do next? Who knows what God wants us as One Church to do next? Who knows what God wants you to do next? And my thought was this, really simple thought came to me, and I've been chewing it over for quite a long time. In the Bible, in our story, in the history of the church, the way that God has moved and the way that people end up doing what, when we look back in history and we can see with hindsight have done the right thing, is because he's either set a fire before people or he has put a fire within people. And I want you to chew those two thoughts over, these extrinsic and intrinsic images. This image of a God who says, right, this opportunity is in front of you that's come right up. You haven't bidden, it hasn't come unbidden, but there is a fire before you, and I'm asking you to follow it. Or, and I think this is true for every human being, I think it's true for you might deny it, but I think that there is a specific kind of fire that God has put in you. From the moment, maybe before you were born, There is a fire in you for a piece of work. There is a thing, there is an injustice that burns in you. And you're denying it. I want to give you some sort of biblical little pictures of this image of this extrinsic fire and an intrinsic one. And these are kind of obvious examples, but let me just read to you some verses. You'll know this story. Moses and the people wandering around in the desert. By day, the Lord went ahead of them in a pillar of cloud to guide them on their way, and by night in a pillar of fire to give them light, so that they could travel by day or night. Neither the pillar of cloud by day nor the pillar of fire by night left its place in front of the people. This profound kind of image that when the people were most likely to lose their way was in the dark. So what does God provide? He provides this fire. I tend to think of heat when you think of fire, but he's lighting the way. And if we feel like we're in a world that's dark and despairing, somewhere, if we've got the eyes to see it, I believe is the fire of God that says, no, there's hope here. Head this way. Head this way. We then read, I love these verses. This is from the prophet Jeremiah. And he's been prophesying, and he's basically hacked everybody off. And the king has beaten him, has thrown him in prison, and then he comes to prophesy again. So he's just prophesied, everyone hates it, been beaten up for it, and then this is what he says. Every time I speak, I shout. I'm always shouting about violence and destruction. I tell the people about the message I received from the Lord, but this only brings me insults. The people make fun of me all day long. Sometimes I say to myself, I'll forget about the Lord. I will not speak any more in his name. But then his message becomes like a burning fire inside me, deep within my bones. I get tired of trying to hold it inside of me. And finally, I cannot hold it in. I wonder if you resonate with that in any way. I get tired of holding in this anger. And I think it's okay to be angry. I just don't think it's okay to just sit on your anger. The way you deal with anger is you go, okay, what is that going to fuel? What is the action? I love the honesty of the prophet that says, I can't hold this in any longer. The fire in my bones is there, and I cannot hold it in any longer, and I won't. And some of you, it's simmering near the surface, and you know the thing that you want to change, and I'd encourage you to act. But many of you, and I've been in this situation myself lots, so I'm not judging anybody, is you'll be going, you're not really talking about me, I just don't have any fire. Your task, I would encourage you, is to ask God's Spirit to light that fire in you, or to remind you what it is. The thing that you feel passionate about. We had a little away day. The team who run the Sunday stuff, I had a lovely time hanging out with them. And one of the things that just kept coming up was our frustration with what the church with the capital C is doing in the world right now. And when you feel like you're making kind of progress, and do we even own this word church anymore? Because there are aspects of the church around the world that you just think, I don't want to be associated with that. But you can't do that. You have to own the whole story. The whole bit of it. You can't just try and wash your hands of it. You have to own it and learn from it and say, but not that here. We will do something different. The fire in us, still within me, I hope, is that I still believe the church can make a difference in the world. There's a lovely little triptych, I think, of Moses and this little image that I'm holding out for you. Again, an obvious example, the beginning of Moses' ministries. I think he's 80 at this point, which always sort of does my head in about biblical maths. But apparently he's on his second period of 40 years, and he's a shepherd at this point, and he's wandering around in the desert. And there, the angel of the Lord appeared to him in flames of fire from within a bush. Moses saw that though the bush was on fire, it didn't burn up. I think that's such an interesting phrase in the context of what we're talking about. What is it that is around you where there is a fire? It's not burning up, it's not hopeless, but there is a fire. And God's drawing you towards it. So he has this external fire that he sees. And immediately what's his response? Oh, don't send me, find somebody else. He tries to deny, I'm not very good at that, send someone else. But he doesn't. He presses on. He then goes and speaks to Pharaoh. He sees the suffering of his people. And a couple of chapters later he says this line, why, Lord? Why have you brought trouble on this people? Is this why you sent me? I love that transition. 1 minute he's going, don't send me. This is, you've got the wrong guy. So then he's in the midst. He doesn't deny the struggle that's going on. He gets in the midst of the struggle and goes, this is why you sent me. And he begins to burn himself. And there's all kinds of examples I could give you of Moses kind of burning, but one of the ones that just helps because it has the word there is when Moses approached the camp and saw the calf and the dancing, his anger burned and he threw the tablets out of his hands. I don't know if you know the context of this verse, but he's just gone up the mountain, he's met with God, he's given the 10 Commandments. And by the time that he's come back down, the people have already decided they want to go back to the ways of being captive in Israel, in Egypt. And they melt their jewelry and turn it into a golden calf. And Moses comes down and burns with anger because says, no, that's the wrong direction. This is the way forward. And his anger changes the situation and they keep on moving towards the things of God. What does all of that kind of mean for us as a church? What does it mean to be a partner with One Church? And I just feel more than ever I'm saying to you, don't just join our club. Shape who we are. Shape who One Church is through your passion and through your fire and through your actions. I wanted to give you some examples, and I could give you so many. Let me start with a sort of older one, and I was hoping Dave might be here, but when I first came to Brighton, Becky and I came over 16 years ago, and there was a small church, no staff team or anything, and they could just about afford my salary because they got £10,000 a year from letting out the car park to an estate agent that was next door. Within months of me arriving, the estate agent terminated the agreement, and there wasn't enough money really for my salary at that point. And so that was sort of weird. Then other people, friends had started to sort of say, oh, we're interested in this thing you're doing in Brighton. And Dave Perrins, who many of you will know, is just an awesome guy. So he came down with Abby, and they said, we want to get involved. And I said, great, Dave, but we haven't got any money. And he wanted to do stuff with young people. And so he did a bit of research in Brighton and found out that at that point, 16 years ago, the number one issue amongst kind of speaking to the council, speaking to local GPs and stuff, was youth unemployment. It was one of the worst in the country for some reason. There's this blip here. So Dave started to do a bit of youth work. And he got some volunteers involved. And he kept on coming back to me and saying, I want to work, but I really want to do this. So I said to him, well, if you find some funding, Dave, then we could do it. So one day, he comes to me with this raft of paper and says, you need to sign here. So I sign it, and I say, what is this? And he said, it's an application to the National Lottery. I went, okay. How much is it for? He said, £250,000. Our income was about £14,000 as a church at that point. And he wanted to go for $250,000. So I said, fill your boots, mate. And, move on. And one day, I know exactly where I was, one of those moments where the phone rings. Hey, Dave, you all right? He said, are you sitting down? I said, what? He said, we got the money. I said, what do you mean we got the money? How much of it? All of it. And it was this seed thing that shaped so much of what we went on to do. Because Dave's passion to try and help young people find work resulted in a belief to go for this funding. Through the bid, they must have felt that fire. They must have caught that fire. And they said yes. To give an organisation who didn't have any youth work, we just had a building in the centre of Brighton, £250,000 is pretty mind-blowing, isn't it? And I could tell you story after story after story like that. I want to tell you a kind of one of the latest stories. A friend of mine called Lucy, who is this amazing woman, and she joins us online sometimes, was head of chaplaincy for the YMCA. Her job was made redundant. She's been wondering what to do. She came to see me recently and basically said, I've got this heart for homeless people, and there's lots of services for homeless people in Brighton and Hove, but actually in terms of one-on-one support on the street, a chaplaincy for the homeless community in Brighton would be a really cool thing. And I'm a terrible leader. I should never be telling you this stuff because I literally just had a paper from her for a proposal and I'm already telling you about it. But I'm telling you about it because here's a woman who's seen something that she's passionate about, and she's come to a church that she's not even part of to say, I think One Church is the kind of place that could incubate this project. Could I do some fundraising through One Church, and could I ask if there may be volunteers who could help me set up, partnering with things like street pastors that Al and Lil and others do so brilliantly, to go, what would it look like for homeless people to have somebody who regularly spends time with them and is that kind of chaplain role. So two extremes, one at the beginning of the journey, one current that you'll hear about. But what is the thing that you might bring? You might think it's too big. And I was trying to think of some small examples, and this might sound ridiculous, but I think it's brilliant and perfect. If you come to the church for any length of time, you'll know that like the tech stuff is a bit sketchy. And we play stuff, those of us speaking, we play stuff from our laptops, and it sometimes appears on the screen. And sometimes flickers, and sometimes turns upside down, and sometimes cuts down right through the middle of a very emotional video that I've showed you. And we've tried everything. And then somebody came to me after a service not long ago, and they said, it's really distracting when that happens. And it kind of, I think people it's really annoying. I said, right. And they said, I can't help you fix it, because I don't know what's going wrong. But find out how to fix it, and I'll pay for it. And they're in the room. I'm going to keep my eyes up here and not look at anybody. But, this was kind of just a beautiful example of somebody going, there's a problem there. Maybe they don't have the finance to fix it, so I'll pay for it. Turned out that it didn't actually cost very much, but the catalyst for us to go away and think about, well, how do we fix this thing, means that, as if by magic, ooh, no wires, my thing, it appears on the screen every time, and it's solid. Oh, there you go. I mean, isn't that like a lovely story? Here's a problem. Somebody thought, I'll do something about it. I sent them the invoice. They said, why does a season ticket to Aston Villa help with our... But it just does. I don't know why, but it did. So thanks to that person. Someone else came to us as a trustee board, wrote an email to the trustees, and basically said that the UK government has just announced, to our shame, that the 0.7% of GDP in this country that used to give to foreign aid is too much, and we can't afford it. So it will be lowered from to 0.5%, and then in 2027 to 0.3%. I mean, the shame on a nation like ours that 0.7 is too much when you think about what's happening in the world. And this person rightly came to me quite cross and said, what can we do as a church? How much are we giving abroad to other things? And is there something we could do now? And our finances were tight, and I started to sort of justify it about through Skylark Coffee. There's tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of pounds now going directly into some communities around the world with coffee growing things. But they were absolutely right in kind of skewering me in a very healthy kind of way. So we, without the permission of the church, immediately said, well, we'll give 1%. We'll start there. And Sarah and Claire organised to pay Medair. Some of you know who do fantastic work. Rebecca is part of Medair. She's not here because she's about to fly in the next couple of days to Ukraine to support the work there. And Medair do fantastic work. So at our next AGM, we're going to talk about how much should we give away to that sort of foreign stuff. But it came from somebody going, we have to do something different. Does that make sense? We need to get the kids back with us. But I just want to finish with provoking that thought. What is the fire before you? And sometimes I think maybe that's part of my job, and I think I'm wrong, but part of my job is to say, as a church, what are the opportunities and how do I get us into trouble? And Leanne's been so great at this, and Sam's always been so great at this. What are the justice opportunities? What can we say yes to on our behalf? But I don't want you to think of it that that's just the job of the staff here. What are the opportunities in your workplace, in your college, in your street, in your neighbourhood, where you think, I could make a difference? Sally, who many of you will know, just started a Facebook group this last couple of weeks, Families Against Fascism, and started a little craft group and went to the mosque to support them out in Peacehaven just on Friday. I mean, what just a lovely thing to do. You can do these things. What is it? The opportunities come up, so I'll do it. So how do you see the fire? That maybe is where God's calling you, but also how do you stoke the fire within you? How do you allow yourself to burn? How do you allow yourself to get angry? You probably are already angry, or you're not paying attention. But where is that anger going to go? The anger that is deep in your bones that you cannot keep on top of, and you shouldn't. You should never take that anger out on other people. But let's take the anger out on what is it the system that's broken? What is the thing that could be changed? What could you be different? And as we talk about partnership together, yes, of course, we want to know each other and support each other. Our journey group structures are coming along to the social stuff, volunteering to get involved in the Sunday stuff. Please do all of that stuff. It will be good for you. But the best thing for you and the best thing for the world, where you will become fully alive, is when you no longer sit on that fire that is within you. And you do the thing that you sense perhaps you were made to do. Two people over the last 2 days just mentioned a story that I've told a few times, but I'm going to mention it because they mentioned it. This story about when Archbishop Desmond Tutu died. And somebody said to Rowan Williams, who's one of his good friends, what is it you like most about Archbishop Desmond Tutu? And he said, the thing I love most about Archbishop Desmond Tutu is that I'd never met anybody in my life who enjoyed being the Archbishop Desmond Tutu as much as Archbishop Desmond Tutu did. Isn't that a great line? And Desmond Tutu, you wouldn't say he was an angry man, would you? But he changed for thousands and tens of thousands of people because his passion, his anger was directed towards action. And don't doubt it was his anger at all of those injustice that made a massive difference. What is it that you are going to do? What is it that we're going to do as a church over these coming weeks and months and years to make a difference in our world? Mark, do you want to tell the kids that they can come back and join us? It'd be great to have them back here. Sam, have we got a song? We'll do it with the kids. Cool, we'll do that. The rest of us, you need one of these. If you guys could pass them around, it would be so helpful. And a pen. It might be that you have to share a pen, but get a pen. And you'll need a partnership card. I'll explain, it's pretty self-explanatory, but I'll explain what they are in just a moment when the kids are back with us. If you've got a under 16-year-old with you, they'll want one of these cards. So come and grab one of those if you want. They might come back in the room with them, but...
These also have a junior partner, so if the youth want to do like great uplooking ones.
And if one of you youth want to come and grab some partnership cards, that would be great. Awesome. Al, I'm including you in the youth. So what we're going to do together, don't do anything just yet. It doesn't matter if you have. Some of you have. I'm stalling, but I'm going to just carry on. It's really important that you know a sort of technical thing about partnership. And that is that it's not just a kind of nice thing. This is the legal structure of the way this church is run. We're a congregational church. In our memorandum on Articles of Association, which you will all have read, it's clear that actually you are the stakeholders. That if you want to get rid of me, or Leanne, or Sam, or Mark, don't get rid of Mark, for goodness sake. But you get rid of one of the three of us, you can do that. You can call a meeting and you can vote and you can get rid of me. It's really important that you have the power to do that. As part of our congregational structure, there's no archbishop or whatever above me that will sack me. Only you can sack me. And there are other things about buying land and property and big decisions that we need to make where we occasionally will call people together to vote. And again, our structure is only people who are members of one church can vote. So it's only partners who do that. So there's nothing that I'm particularly aware of on the horizon. We're thinking about the future of Gloucester Place. Massive issue for this other building that we've got. Undoubtedly, at some point over the coming years, and I'll be very happy when this happens, there'll be moments where we vote about what to do with this incredible facility we've got down in town, but does need something. And it'll be moments like that where the people who are legally the kind of owners of this church, the members, will be partners. So you're not just joining a nice club, you're also becoming kind of part owners of it in your partnership. And there will be moments where you're asked to vote on some important things. And if you give me the screen, Wilf, if you're joining us online, and I know that a bunch of people will, if you scan the QR code that's on your screen right now, it will take you to a little simple link for a Google form, and you can sign your partnership with us through that as well. You might want to, even if you're in the room, you might want to do that. But the nice thing is, in a moment, as a visual kind of thing, once you've signed and filled in the details of your partnership card, you're going to bring it to the front and put it in this bowl. I don't know why I've chosen the world's smallest bowl. So 4 of you will be able to put, but it's a symbol. There you go. It's full now. There's no more space for any more. But come and chuck I'll move this stuff out of the way. But just as this image of us committing to God and to one another, and there's a bunch of people who have sent their apologies over the last few weeks who I know aren't here. And just to reiterate to those people, you can do that over the next few weeks if you want to do that. But we're going to sing. We're going to make this sense of commitment to each other. If you are in sort of secondary school age, there is a little box that says I want to be a junior partner, which is simply because, again, our constitution doesn't allow people to vote under 16, but we always want to hear your voice. So if we have forums, come along, give us your voice and opinion. But if we ever have to vote on something, that's the only reason there's a difference between junior partnership and partnership. Does that make sense? Cool. Okay. I'm going to pray, just to create a little segue into us singing together and bringing forward our partnership cards. But let's just take a moment to pray. And I really wanted the young people to stay in for that little talky bit. And I know that the children and you've been thinking about this stuff too, because I just so want you to know that every person, whatever your age, whatever your level of education, wherever box you want to put yourself in, you're not just welcome here, but you're welcome to try and shape us. If it's in line with God's kingdom and his values, we want to hear from you, and we want to try and help enable you in the things to make a difference. Let me just pray. God, thank you for each other. Thank you for this church and its journey and all its imperfections and all the things that we wish were better. But we are grateful for the beautiful, brilliant people that you've brought into our community. And God, I pray for that sense that there is a fire ahead of us and we would follow it. Not get distracted by the wrong questions and the wrong metrics and the wrong goals, but we'd stay focused on moving towards your kingdom. And I pray for each one of us that we might have the courage to ask, what is the fire that's burning in my bones? What is the anger? What is the frustration? What is the disappointment that may be speaking it out and working with others? Am I actually let out in healthy ways? God, we want to be a church that punches above our weight. We want to be a church that brings good news to this city, to this county, to the world. We thank you for all the things you're doing through the different projects that we currently run. And we anticipate the new things that we'll be doing together over the coming years. God, please be in all of those things. Help us not to be inefficient and waste time on anything that isn't of your kingdom, but help us to give everything for the things that are, I pray. In Jesus' name, amen. I think we're going to sing together at the same time as I'm going to encourage you to come forward and chuck your postcards in.
And Dave asked for the song My Lighthouse, but then he asked for us to change all the words so that all the first person pronouns are in the plural. So it's our lighthouse, not my lighthouse, in our wrestlings and in our doubts. And we're just going to crash through it together. So pile in and try and remember to sing the words slightly differently to how you expect. Let's start with the bridge. Fire before us, you're the brightest. You will lead us through the storm. Fire before us, you're the brightest. You will lead us through the storm. Fire before us, you're the brightest. silence you won't let go. In the questions your truth will hold. Your great love will lead us through. You are the peace in our troubled sea. Oh, you are the peace in our troubled sea. Our lighthouse, our lighthouse, our lighthouse, shining in the darkness, we will follow you. Oh, our lighthouse, we will trust the promise. You will carry us safe to shore, safe to shore, safe to shore, safe to shore. And I won't fear what tomorrow brings. With each moment we'll rise and sing. Our God's love will lead us through. You are the peace in our troubled sea. Oh, you are the peace in our troubled sea. Our lighthouse, shining in the darkness, we will follow you. Oh, our lighthouse, we will trust the promise. You will carry us safe to shore, safe to shore, safe to shore, safe to shore. Fight before us. Fight before us. You're the brightest. You will lead us through the storm. Fight before us. You're the brightest. You will lead us through the storm. Fight before us. You're the brightest. You will lead us through the storm. Fight before us. You're the brightest. You will lead us through the storm. Give me oil in my lamp, keep me burning. Give me oil in my lamp, I pray. Give me oil in my lamp, keep me burning. Keep me burning till the break of day. And sing, Hosanna, sing, Hosanna, sing, Hosanna to the King of Kings. Sing, Hosanna, sing, Hosanna, sing, Hosanna to the King. And give me joy in my heart, keep me praising. Give me joy in my heart, I pray. Give me joy in my heart, keep me praising. Keep me praising till the break of day. And I will sing, Hosanna, sing, Hosanna, sing, Hosanna to the King of Kings. Sing, Hosanna, sing, Hosanna, sing, Hosanna. Give me peace in my heart, keep me resting. Give me peace in my heart, I pray. Give me peace in my heart, keep me resting. Keep me resting till the break of day. And I will sing, Hosanna, sing, Hosanna, sing, Hosanna to the King of Kings. Sing, Hosanna, sing, Hosanna, sing, Hosanna. Give me love, and give me love in my heart, keep me serving. Give me love in my heart, I pray. Give me love in my heart, keep me serving. Keep me serving till the break of day. And sing, Hosanna, sing, Hosanna, sing, Hosanna to the King of Kings. Sing, Hosanna, sing, Hosanna, sing, Hosanna. And give us strength, keep us marching. Give us strength in our hearts, keep us marching. Give us strength in our hearts, we pray. Give us strength in our hearts, keep us marching. Keep us marching till the break of day. And we will sing, Hosanna, sing, Hosanna, sing, Hosanna to the King of Kings. Sing,
whether you have renewed your partnership for the 10th time today or you're becoming a partner for the first time, it's just such a joy to be together and doing that together. If you are catching up or you're watching online, you can go to onechurchbrighton.org/partnership. There's a bunch of information there. Maybe you need a little bit more time to think, especially if it's your first time with us today. Might be a bit full on. You can find out a bit more about what partnership and find that form to sign up online. Because it's an unusual service, a special service, we're going to hang around for a bit longer today. People have bought cake. We have our amazing Skylark coffee on filter. So just feel free to hang around, enjoy that time together. And we are restarting our board games after the service on the second Sunday of the month. So if you've just had such a great time, you want to hang out here all day, hang out and play some games with us. Thank you all for being here and have a good week.